You step outside the building, and for a moment, nothing feels different. The street looks familiar. The air feels ordinary. Your thoughts are already moving ahead of you, somewhere beyond this moment. You begin walking. Not in a hurry, just moving forward as usual. This is something you have done many times before. Step outside and continue the day. But today, something shifts quietly. Something you didn't plan for. Something you can't control. Welcome to Calm English Listening. In this space, you don't need to study. You don't need to repeat anything. You don't need to remember every word. Just listen. Let the language enter naturally, through calm attention, through repetition, through exposure. The sky feels heavier when you look up. The light begins to lose its brightness. And then the rain arrives. First, a few drops. Then more. Then everything at once. People around you react quickly. Some start running. Some open umbrellas. Some change direction immediately. You notice how quickly the environment changes human behavior. Movement becomes faster. Attention becomes narrower. But you continue walking at the same pace. Not because you are ignoring the rain, but because you are noticing it more deeply now. The first drops hit your shoulders. Cold at first, then present, then part of the moment you are in. You used to react immediately in situations like this. You used to rush to avoid discomfort. But now, something is different in the way you respond. You stay inside the moment instead of escaping it. The rain becomes stronger. Sound fills the space around you. The world feels louder, but your mind becomes less crowded. Thoughts still appear, but they slow down naturally. Not because you force them, but because there is less urgency to react. You notice small details now. Water moving along the street edges. Reflections breaking on the ground. The rhythm of footsteps mixing with rain. And something becomes clear without effort. You are not outside the rain anymore. You are inside it. And that changes how everything feels. Less separation. Less resistance. More presence. You remember how you used to handle moments like this. Rush. Avoid. Control. But now, something simpler appears in your response. Observe. Continue. Be here. The rain continues without asking anything from you. It does not need explanation. It does not wait for understanding. It simply continues. And you begin to follow that rhythm in your own way. Less urgency. Less resistance. More awareness. You keep walking. One step, then another. Not trying to arrive anywhere faster. Not trying to fix anything in this moment. Just moving through it. And somewhere in this movement, language is still present in the background. Not as study, not as effort, but as repetition you are simply exposed to. You hear structures without needing to analyze them. You notice repetition without holding on to it. And over time, something begins to form naturally. Now take a moment to recognize what has been happening in the language you heard. You heard change over time. At first, nothing feels different. Then the rain begins. Then everything changes. You heard contrast in behavior. I used to rush in moments like this, but now I observe first. I used to react immediately, but now I pause naturally. I used to avoid discomfort, but now I stay present inside it. You heard response shifts in action. Instead of rushing, I observe. Instead of escaping, I continue walking. Instead of controlling the moment, I allow it to happen. You also heard gradual change. The more I notice, the more clearly I understand. The more I listen, the more familiar English becomes. The more I stay present, the more naturally language forms in my mind. These are not sentences to memorize. They are patterns your brain becomes familiar with through repetition. And now, you do not need to do anything with them. Just let them remain as exposure. The rain begins to soften. The street feels less intense again. You continue walking, now with less distraction. And your mind continues learning quietly in the background.